Again, right here.
Hello, Abraham. My question is, my husband passed away 2 years ago, and I just want to understand a little bit more about that process. Did he really choose that?
Yes.
He was so young, and he seemed to us that he very much wanted to stay, and just his body failed. So just really, our family's kind of struggling with all of that because he was
Have
so
you
young.
heard us talking about
Yes.
any of this before?
Yes.
So what part of what you heard before did you not understand?
Yeah.
The reason that we ask this is
Yeah.
because we understand the bigness of this subject, and we mostly understand the feeling of loss that you feel. And it's important through discussions about this that more of you hook into your personal understanding of your eternal nature. It takes a getting of the big picture to understand why something happens in the physical experience. You have to sort of step back and look at the big picture. And since that's very hard for you to do if you are focused so much on the smaller picture of what's happening in your life right now, that it's almost as if someone who understands the big picture cannot communicate with someone who's still looking at the smaller picture. And so it really takes stepping back into an understanding of your eternal nature. And in the moment that you do that, then you can see how you choose to come and go, you choose to play, you choose to gain insight, you choose to launch rockets of desire, you choose to set things in motion, you choose to be catalysts that sets things in motions for other people. You see sort of a little bit what we're getting at?
Yeah.
So we will hear your specific questions and we will answer them succinctly, but we do not intend in this gathering today to bring anyone on the planet to an understanding of something that you're really not going to ever understand until you make your transition, because then you gain the big picture, then you are the big picture, and then you remember all of the reasons that you made all of the decisions that you made. Some decisions that you made even before you came into your physical body to begin with, some that you made along the way, some that you made intentionally, some that you made by default. So what's on your mind? What is it that you...
So if you have some sort of disease and you really do want to stay, you're able to call in your alignment to fix your body so that you can stay?
Well, now this is where you are all going to find a new awareness of something here. So let's just get right to it, and then we can get on with what you are all about as you are here focused in your physical bodies. See if we can find a starting place, taking into consideration all of you. Most people look at most of the ways. In fact, most people look at all of the ways. In fact, almost all people look at almost all of the ways that you find your way out of this life experience as something that went wrong. Let's just start right there, because that would be like someone in the house that you left this morning, sitting there feeling the wrongness that you left that house and went someplace else, not even capable of considering the rightness of where you've gathered. So they might say, since you're not over there, which is wrong, then whatever process or decision by way you made to get there. So they might be saying, damn that car that took them to another place, damn that vehicle that transported them into some place other than where I am. And so the point that we're making with you, or wanting to make with you, did you catch it just a little bit, is that from that broader perspective, you've made lots of decisions. And one of the things that was most keenly in your knowing when you made the decision to come into this physical experience is that it was in the scheme of who you are, not only really brief, really, really, really brief in the scheme of all that you are, but you knew for sure you were not going to be in that physical body, and that there was going to be some means of you not being in that physical body. So hear this. We so much want you to hear this, that as we love you so much, as people, as collective consciousness, as people who live on this planet, who have forgotten about the big picture and who mostly aren't tuned into the big picture, who are therefore wanting to make every single death a wrong thing. Did you hear that? You want to make the thing that is the most obviously inevitable a wrong thing. Because you're clinging to only a part of who you are rather than tuning into the whole of who you are, and therefore feeling ease with the whole of who you are. So when someone does tune in to the whole of who they are and feel the ease of who they really are, and then follow their path to that well-intended thing. I'm going to start this sentence again because we really want Esther to get these words right for you. Humans have created illness because you won't let go of this life experience easily. Because there's too many people that you leave behind who are standing there saying, why would you go? I thought you were having fun with me. You said you were having fun with me. Why would you take off like that? And so as a mass consciousness, you have created the excuse of doing the inevitable thing, and it's called disease. Does that make sense to you? Because I couldn't just say, darling, it's been wonderful. I'm going to go now. You wouldn't take that very well. So instead, I say, darling, my body won't support me anymore. Please don't make me stay here dribbling in my soup. I will make any excuse I need to so that you will accept my decision that you're not willing to accept, which brings us really to the most important conversation that we've ever had with any human body of bodies, and that is you in your human form have come to want others to accept your decisions to get you, and so you do all of your playing to them. You stand on your head in all kinds of different ways in order to get their approval, to get their attention, to get them to know you. And in the meantime, you let them train you away from your inner being, and you train yourself away from your inner being, and you train them away from your inner being, because you need them to accept or understand the things that are most on your mind that you want to do. Helpful?
Yeah.
So just don't do that anymore. Next. It's not easy to see the big picture, but sometimes you do. And it's the wonderful thing. Oh, we like it so much when you listen to us for a little while and you accept these basic things. You accept that you're a vibrational being, and you accept that you live in a vibrational universe, and you accept that you're an extension of non-physical, and you accept that the non-physical is the big picture of you. And you accept that you are an extension of this non-physical, and that you have plans, and that through this human life experience that you add to the plans of the whole of who you are. And you form this partnership with your inner being, so that when your inner being knows that you've experienced this life and you've experienced what you intended to experience in it, and you've put enough from it into your vortex that now you're ready to get on with the other things that you are about. And you see, the thing that's so delightful about, you might not choose such a word, so delightful about that death experience, whether you fall off a cliff or you get run over by a truck or you find some disease, doesn't matter what excuse you use for your way out. And you got to have excuses for your way out because you want out. You got to get out. The plan was not to be here for a long time, you see. Can you accept that? Are you accepting that? Or are you thinking, no, 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 Abraham, I'm here. I'm fairly still together. Yeah, pretty much together. I'd like to stay as long as I can hold this body together. Because, why? Why? Because, why? Because I've come so far and I've learned so much. And the unknown, I don't want the unknown. And I don't want to start over again. And so I'll just play it out here. But your inner being is making some other decisions, because the criteria is different from that broader perspective. That broader perspective, who is really who you are and who really knows what you are about. Oh, we talked about so much, and we could take every paragraph of this dialogue and write an entire book about every paragraph of this dialogue. That's how rich and deep it is. Do you think you got some of it?
Oh, yeah.
And so it's a good thing, not a bad thing.
It is a good thing.
It wasn't a leaving, it was a going. It wasn't a diminishment, it was a becoming. It wasn't a leaving behind, it was involving a larger part on a fuller scale. It isn't less, it is more. It isn't wrong, it is right. It isn't bad, it is good. And when you find more of those thoughts that are really resonant with you, we know they are, your pain will disappear. Enough?
Enough. Thank you.
Really.